guys! So I wasn't actually planning on filming a video today, but just because I thought I looked so cute, I figured I would come on here. I'm not sure if you've seen the video where I talked about growing 4C natural hair. I briefly talked about protective styling, and some of you guys did leave comments in the section below wanting me to talk about it. So here I am. Let's just start with the difference between protective styling and low manipulation styles. To me, protective style is something where your ends are completely protected. So twists, braids, cornrows, those are usually the main ones. Or even when you braid your hair underneath your weaves or wigs or whatever. And there are low manipulative styles like twist outs, spin to knot outs, braid outs, where you're not doing too much to your hair but your ends are exposed. Protective styling, there's two kinds I find. There's long-term protective styles and there's short-terms. This I would consider to be a short-term protective style just because I will have this for about a week and my hair is, I don't know if you can tell, but it's flat twisted in the front and the rest is just two-strand twists, and I've just put it all up into a bun. My ends are protected, my hair is protected, and I will leave this in for about a week. What I want to talk about is long-term protective styles that are left in for a long period of time. The big dangers with protective styles is that they're too tight, they're too small, and they're left in for too long. The smaller they are, a lot of the times they put a lot more tension on your hair, and I mean too tight, that just goes without explanation. You're pulling out your edges, your hair is falling out, and you're wondering why your hair is not growing even though you are doing protective styling, and that's why. Especially around your edges, those are very fragile. At least for me, my edges are very fine. Every time I do any type of hairstyle, I always avoid doing something really tight. I leave them alone. If anything, I just leave them out because messy hairstyle is better than no edges. I've seen people leave twists and braids in for about 2-3 months. I would not recommend that just because by that time you need to take down your hair. You need to wash, you need to condition. My rule of thumb is never leave it past 1 month. 4 weeks is the cutoff date. It doesn't matter what it looks like, even if it still looks good and it did take a long time to put in. So whenever I do a protective style, usually braids, that's what I do. I will make sure that they're not too tight at all. And of course, you want them to last a long time, so which is why people go ahead and do them really tight. I try to keep it reasonable, and for the first week or so, I sort of just leave the hair down. I don't try to force it into a ponytail or anything like that, just because I know that's going to cause additional stress. Also, I make them big enough so I know that they're not pulling on my edges, and if anything, around the edges area, I just do them a little bit bigger. Especially when you do long braids, the hair itself is heavy. So just having them around your edges and it's there for a long time and you're pulling it up, you're putting it down, you're doing whatever styles that you do, that just adds a lot of tension. I know you know someone that had their edges pulled out of it. Even when I do have a long-term protective style, I still wash my hair every week. Maybe for the first 2 weeks I won't, but then after that I go back into my regular routine and I make sure that I wash my scalp every week. That way, when I do take down my braids, my hair isn't completely matted and really dirty, and I don't have a lot of buildup. And of course, because your hair is locked in that style, it's hard for you to moisturize properly. Sometimes what I do is have a spray bottle with some leave-in conditioner, vegetable glycerin, depending on the weather, and I sort of spray my hair. So I make sure I keep my hair moisturized, but there's so much you can do when your hair is locked into a style. I know you've probably experienced a time where you've taken down your hair and you think you're going to have some great growth, but then your hair is so matted, so tangled. By the time you detangle, it's worse than what you started with. So those are my tips, I guess. Just make sure that you take care of your hair underneath. Share your experiences below. I mean, that's the whole point of this, right? I tell you what I think, what works for me. You tell me what works for you. So leave me a comment below how protective style works for you and what you do to prevent some of the dangers associated with it. And I will see you next time. Bye.